Welcome to Short Kings, short reviews of short games that are worth your time. Today we're looking at a game that just recently came out, Jusant. The premise of this game is that you climb. You're a little fella climbing a big rock, and Jusant has a very fun and unique control scheme. The left and right triggers on your controller correspond with your left and right hands in the game. Pushing down the trigger grabs the wall with your hand. So, for example, you grab the wall with your right hand, and then you guide your left hand with the left stick and grab with your left hand, release the right hand, guide it and grab with it, and so on. You kind of keep the pattern going from there. Now, if that sounds difficult to get used to, don't worry, it really isn't, because it mirrors the same kind of motions you'd use to climb in real life. And it's really cool. I couldn't stop thinking of how cool it was the whole time I was playing. I really wanted to be a rock climber when I was a little kid, so this game really speaks to me. You can also jump from one point to another. You can also drive these pitons, these pegs into the wall to anchor yourself. They can act as temporary save points along your climb, but you can also use them to dangle yourself down via rope and swing to the next climbing spot. When your game has such a fun and involved control scheme to begin with, it kinda carries the rest of the game along. At least that's how it was in my case, but there definitely are other things to appreciate about this game. As you'd expect, you do get introduced to new mechanics along the way that keep things nice and fresh. Now, my policy on spoilers with short games like this is to not reveal too much from later parts of the game, even if it's just game mechanics, because proportionately, discovering something for yourself is a lot more meaningful in a short game than it is in a long one. So I'll leave you guys to discover those new mechanics on your own. What I can talk about are the environments you'll be traveling through. The flat colors and simple shading combines beautifully with the amount of detail present in these areas. You'll find yourself exploring the ruins of a civilization that seemingly disappeared, finding what they left behind in the form of notes you can read and seashells you can listen to. I also want to add that the music in this game is great too. Even though it's sparse, it adds so much to those special moments when it is present. And you do get to have a little companion dude you take with you, so that's always cool. Look at him, the little Glorbo. That's not his name. I don't know what his name is. He just looks like a Glorbo to me. Jusant advertises itself as a puzzle game. There aren't any sort of traditional video game puzzles. The puzzle is figuring out how you're going to climb further up, figuring out the route you're going to take, and using everything in your toolkit to make it to the next objective. And speaking of objectives, you can use the Glorbo to get pointed to the next objective, but I personally found it a little confusing because, as I found out later on, it points you to both your primary and your side objectives. A lot of the time you won't need it anyway, since for the most part, the game is really good at naturally directing you to where you need to go. Me being me, I got stuck at a few points that I probably shouldn't have, and I ended up beating Jusant in just about 5.5 hours. You should be able to beat it in 2 sittings, and probably in less time than I did. I should also warn that this game can be a little buggy. There is nothing game-breaking, thankfully, but sometimes you will witness the character's arms clipping through things or whatever, but I found it to be all forgivable. The game still delivered quite a solid experience that I will treasure for quite a while. If this game sounds interesting to you, if the controls sound interesting at all, then this game is for you. If you ask me, it's definitely a short king.